And we're on. How are
Hello,
you doing, guys?
Hello.
So, first of all, like we always do, I know there's a little intro there, but if people just want to tell us how you're getting on in the comments, we'll let more of you come in before we actually start the main part. But how are you guys doing in chat here? How's COVID ravaged the UK? Getting on with you?
Like everyone else, bored, fed up.
Are you managing okay?
Yeah, I think we've all just got to try and stay positive above it, haven't we? It's hard, and it's mentally, I think it's hard on most people. Some days I struggle with it, but you've just got to try and see that little glimmer of hope that might be coming, and be as positive as we can.
Got to have positive thoughts. Yeah, feels like we're on the right side of things now. It just seems to be getting there. We just got to sit with it for a wee bit longer, and then hopefully we'll start to get released from the houses again.
When do you think it will start releasing? You think it'll probably be around March? Spring,
yeah, I always believe start of March we'll start to get the ease in of the lockdown. Maybe end of February, going into March. I'm pretty confident we'll start to get allowed to go out and about a bit more again.
I think it'll. Yeah, I think it's going to be around for quite a long time. Yeah, I think it's going to be another year of quite a lot of problems, but I think it will ease. It'll be less restrictive, I think. Sort of dropping down the tiers a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we've got so much we need to do, guys, and a lot of filming we need to do, and it's, we're trying to play, although we've got permission to do certain things, we're trying to be as respectful and responsible as possible, to help with the whole thing. And
we absolutely have to do our bit. I mean, there's stuff we can do, but as we've already agreed, it's not stuff we have to do just now. So we just have to be respectful and mindful of that, and not do too much. Play our bit. If everyone plays their bit, then we'll get out of this quicker.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. So, hi guys, everybody in the chat. I see Claire's there. I see Annette Ramsey, Vicky Stone, Heather McFarlane, Donna Nicol, Lorraine Lloyd, Lindsay Dunn, Denise Blood, Vicky O'Rourke, Kat Waddle. We've got Nancy Volker across on YouTube. Antoinette Doyle, Mags Murphy. I might miss some of you here, guys. Jean Lilly, how are you doing? Alan McLeod, Jackie Harrison, Lisa Sprott, Vicky Stone, Lorraine Lloyd. I'm quite good at this, isn't I?
Yeah, keep going, Ryan.
And so much more of you, and we'll try to come back, obviously, as we're going on to see how we're getting on at the time. Yeah. So let's talk about a weary lady.
Yeah. I want to just before we jump into that, I just want to, I know it's quite obvious, but we are all in our own homes in a safe and COVID-friendly environment. We're trying to do something a little bit different this evening. We're going to try and do an investigation from all of our own individual houses over this particular item that we've got. So just to clear that up, we are all in our houses in a safe and COVID-friendly manner. And we'll pass over to Greg to tell you a little bit about this item.
Yeah. We actually do not know an awful lot about the weary lady. She came to me about a year ago. Her last owner, all we really know about her is her last owner really didn't like her. She felt a bit creeped out, but she also felt that she didn't want to throw her away. She wasn't really up for giving much information about where she originated from. But the fact that she didn't want to throw her away, I believe it probably came down through the family. Because I think if anyone got that item and didn't like it, they're not going to keep it. They'll just get rid of it. She is definitely handmade. She has a storage compartment underneath her. I personally believe that she's actually possibly been two items. I think she's maybe been an old doll, and the head's been kept for some reason. The head is hand carved by the looks of things. So whether it's a family member that's made a doll and then it's been remade into something else, or whether it's the doll's head's been got somewhere and then it's been remade. But the head is actually stitched onto the body. The body is hollow. The bottom half is hollow. The top half there's a cork layer, and then there's stuffing inside it. And then I say the head is hand stitched on top of it. we really don't know an awful lot about her, but we have had things happening since we started talking about using her. So it will be very interesting to see what we get through with. We've got theories on her. Lee's got a theory on her. I've got a theory on her. So it will be very interesting to see if anyone picks up on what we think.
Wow!
Just-
Now,
just-
I've just seen something. Can I just interrupt for a second? I'll put it on the screen. Where did you say, Lee, that you felt that? Yeah, okay. We'll
Yeah.
come back to that, Willow. We'll come back
Yeah,
to that, okay? I don't want to give away too much now. Now, would you like me to play that little clip from yesterday, Greg, when something floated behind your head?
Yes, I think so. Just to give people the background,
Yeah.
the software, we've been working on this for a few days now, just to make sure that we get the software set up correctly and the correct setup to make sure that the video lady's isolated, etc. We were talking about this yesterday, just myself and Ryan on the software chatting to each other. We did a quick live to see if we could get a live into the supporters group, which we did, and we took the wee lead out of the case. She stays in a case, which is this one here. I took her out of it. We talked about her. I put her back in our case, and we were just sitting talking about what we're going to do tonight, our ideas for tonight. And as we were doing that, something happened, which you will see on the video.
Okay, so I'm going to play this video, guys.
Coming
So we
through
could
from
do some live EVP.
yes.
See what we can do with that. We could
Yeah,
we could
can
try
do
to
some calling out. We can
do
have
some
the
calling
K2 beside there and see if we can activate the K2 remotely.
yeah, and see if we can get people to even put that intention over and see if they can help in
Yes.
some way by doing that at the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
time. Yeah,
It means by having our own camera, people can watch her.
Yeah.
When we're talking to each other, we're
You
not
have just had something
I just
fly
saw that
behind
from
you.
behind me.
Did you see that?
That was a big long ribbon.
I seen that there. Did you guys see that? Watching it.
Put her away. A large, not an orb, but a large ribbon light.
That was
passing behind me.
crazy.
Oh.
So there we go. What did you
Yes.
think of
So
that?
let us think what you think about that. It's quite strange for me because the way it comes in, it splits into two.
Yeah.
And then one half continues and both of them just disappear. I don't know what it is.
We're not making any claims that it is paranormal related, but it's interesting. I just seen, Greg, just before we went into the video, there was a few people asking, you have had this doll in your possession for a little while, haven't you? It's not a brand new item. You've not done work with it, but it has been with you for quite some time.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think, Lee, of that video? Obviously you just seen it for the first time before we went live. What's your kind of thoughts on it?
Yeah, I was quite impressed by it actually, Ali, because we all as paranormal investigators see quite a lot of orbs, and we know that quite a lot of orbs are insects or dust or something that has a natural or logical explanation to it. For me, that one was slightly different. It was more like a ribbon, and it was the way that it moved, which just gains my interest a little bit more. Whether it was actual spirit manifestation, we can't say for sure. But for me, I would err towards more of a manifestation and away from dust, because it doesn't look like a normal dust particle or orb to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree
as well. That someone put that there was movement in the hallway as well. I can confirm that I was upstairs at that time, so it wasn't me. And I don't think Mum was around.
No, we can't 100% say there is definitely a shadow in the hallway, but I can't 100% say nobody else was moving about in the house.
I know it wasn't me though.
But I can't see anyone either moving about. But again, I say we just can't say whether there is or isn't. Whether it was or normal.
The whole coincidence of it all, we've been coming into this setup for quite a long time, just between ourselves and private to talk to each other and things, and we've not experienced anything like that. So timing's everything, I suppose, sometimes. But it was really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's never happened before. It's never happened again. So, I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see if anybody tonight watching sees anything behind any of us on the screen. Yeah. So keep watching, and if you do see anything, feel free to put a comment in.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Okay, I think that we can maybe just kickstart the session, just so people know. If you have a question for the Weary Lady, so we're doing audio sessions, if you say in the comments that you'd like to ask the question, we can actually bring you in to the live. She will appear on the screen with us, and you can ask her directly. Rather than you asking us to ask her, it'd be easier you come in and ask her directly, and let's see if we can get an answer coming through. For the audio, make sure your speakers are turned up as loud as you can go. If you have headphones, please wear them. There's nothing we can do about it. We've got as loud as we can make it just now. So we can't make it any louder. That's the option, to make sure your microphone speakers are up top volume, headphones in, and then let's see what we get.
And another thing is we're going to try not to say what we think we hear as well. We'll just let it run, because obviously you could end up talking over the top of the audio, which will make it more difficult. And it's really difficult, guys, because when we're doing this work, we tend to communicate with each other what we think we can hear. But obviously, with this setup being an online setup like this, it's going to be a lot more difficult. You could easily speak over the top of, some really good captures. So we'll try. Keep the session 5 minutes to each one. Does that sound about okay, do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
5 minute max, and we will let it run. We'll stop, and then we'll have a talk about it. And then we'll move on to something else. So we've got the Cultus box. If you look at the audio cam up there, we've got the Cultus box, which is a scanning radio device, scanning frequencies. Yes, we may get some false positives through. We have sped up a little bit, but you do get captures coming through as well, and we will be looking to analyse. We also have the Scottish Paranormal app, which is sound banks. We'll run this as well. We do have this into a Bluetooth speaker to hopefully make it a little bit louder for people. There is no words in there. You hear any word whatsoever coming through that we were in that session, I think we've got something. And now I've already run it today, and I've had some good things coming through, but I'm not going to say what that is because I'll pollute our thoughts at the time. We'll just see. This is fresh. We'll see what comes through with this. We also have the... Sorry, go on, Ali.
No. I was just going to explain something. You finish that, and then I'll explain what I was going to say.
I'm just finally going to say the DR6 is there. We'll try a few live EVPs, see if Spirit can communicate over the network like what we're doing here, and I quite believe they can. Okay.
Yeah. So just what Ryan was explaining just before we went into that explaining there. Normally, when we do the audio session, we speak and we say live what we're hearing. And we're not going to do that. We're going to sit in complete silence. But please, can you put the comments of what you're hearing? Write the comments so we can see them, and then we can recap over this after the audio stopped. So put the comments in the put what you hear in the comments, should I say? And we'll
go back and
we'll pick up on it after it. Yeah,
sounds good.
I'm just looking at the comments just now, and I see a certain Mr. McCallum, who we all know. I mean, he said he's done the paranormal for a very long time, and we know how respected he is in the field. But that he's never seen a catch like that, as good as that one that we just got. Again, this is one of these things. We weren't deliberately trying to get a catch. We weren't looking for information. It just happened. So sometimes you do get the best catches when you're not expecting it.
Yeah, it was just a quick 10 minutes because we were testing going into the supporters area of the page to see if it works, because obviously we're going to have to provide some live private things for the supporters that are there, and that's all it was, wasn't it? There was no intentions of capturing anything. We thought, let's show them the Weary Lady at the same time what we're going to be doing today. And it was there. It was quite blatant. I rarely do I see something like that. The only time I've seen something very similar to what you'll say was Balgony Castle when we were in the chapel. Something a little bit similar to that did come onto the screen, But this one, you can see it fade in and fade out, which is quite something I've not seen much of.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
do you want to start with the Cultus box then?
Yeah, I was just going to say quickly before we start, if anyone that's asking a question they want to come on, if maybe one of the mods could pin it to the top so we can actually see it, just to save us scrolling through the messages afterwards. So if anyone is wanting to come on, let us know, and we'll bring you on at some point during the session.
And thank you to all the sharers and star senders as well.
Yes.
Obviously, there's a lot of yous on, so there's a lot of names to mention, but we will thank you afterwards in the comments. We
Yes.
really appreciate your help and your support. So please keep sharing the page, and please also make sure you like the page as well. That would be great. And we're going to go into the audio session now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to turn the volume up. Then I'm going to enlarge the Weary Lady to a full screen. So, guys, it's going to go to full screen. The audio will be on. We will run it, and then we will move back to normal screen again and talk about what we get. Okay. So let's put it up full screen first for you, and let's go.
Okay, do we have any spirit connected to this item with us? Could you give us a name, please? Could you tell us where you're from? Could you tell us what was stored inside you? There are two flashing devices beside you. Could you activate one of them? Oh, that's strange. Could you give us any information about the spirit connected to you? Is your name Rose? Have you been used in connection with any witchcraft or rituals? Was that you making the banging noise? It was. Could you do that again?
Okay, just now a few seconds, and then we could stop this one.
Yeah. Okay, once again, can you give us a name and where you came from, please?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so just turning that down, we're going to click back to the main screens. And there we go. Well, guys, what did you hear? We'll start with people on this live, and then we can go into some of the comments. I did see one name coming up in the comments. What about you guys? Is there anything that stood out to you?
It seemed quite quiet. It's actually bizarrely the quieter session than the trials we did earlier on. Seemed to have more coming through. Maybe she's got a wee bit of stage fright or something like that shows people are watching her. But it just seemed a bit quieter. I didn't hear the name Rose, but an awful lot of people heard Rose or picked up on Rose. So it's maybe something that we'll hear when we play it back and listen to the analysis. We know that sometimes when you play it back, you pick up more than you hear live.
You do.
It'll be interesting to see.
What about you, Lee? Did you pick up anything at all during that session?
So I thought I heard the name Rose as well. At one point, that stood out. There was another Clay line that I heard. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was something about being a prince. I thought it said, "I'm a prince here," or something about a prince. So that stood out. Now, I'm not presuming that there's a prince attached to this, but it could be a symbol of a male energy, for example, or something like that. So that stood out to me.
Excellent. What about you, Ali? Is there anything that stood out to you?
I think definitely female presence. There was a few words. It was quite hard to catch. Maybe we need to slow down a little bit if we analyse it, which we will. I think definitely female presence was there. A lot of people are saying children as well. They can't rule out anything, but I certainly think definitely a strong female presence. Was present.
Excellent. Kyle?
I think it was quiet, but then not every first investigation is going to be the most liveliest investigation anyway, because we're just getting started. So I think there'll be a few more questions that we'll have to delve in and ask for her.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the main one for me was a Rose, and a lot of people heard it as well, and they heard again, like you're saying, the female / child type voices, possibly footsteps as well was heard. It's hard to tell because it could just be noise coming through from the radio itself. We've got to keep that in mind when it's scanning, but it's something we could listen back for. But yeah, you just never know, do you? You never know until when you analyse some of the things that you can pull out.
Well, one thing I did notice, and again, we can watch this when we play back, or if anyone's noticed it as well, at one point the screen seemed to go completely out of focus. Yeah. And then it came back into focus, which is, she's on a fixed camera. We've not had a problem with the camera all the way through until we do a first session. And then it seems to go out of focus and come back in. Could be nothing, could be something, but it's just something to put out there and see what people think.
It's a good point, Greg, and I'll tell you why. When we've been on investigation and we've set up a camcorder as a locked-off camcorder in places like Mary King's Close, Balgunny Castle, there is one thing that I have noticed. Sometimes when activity starts, REM pod goes off, flashing ball, whatever. The camcorder seems to be trying to focus onto something that's not there. So it will go out of focus and it will come back in again. I've seen that. Yeah. I've actually seen sometimes some pieces of equipment trying to map a face that's not there. Not there that we can see anyway. Yeah. So it's always something to keep in mind. We don't know what kind of energies might be around that item. And it could be trying to focus onto something that just a little bit outside our, spectrum of vision. Yeah. So it's something to keep in mind.
It does seem a few folk have also seemed to think that she's maybe moved a little bit as they've been watching, or her facial expressions changed slightly.
Also, Deb's white shade is similar to yourself, Lee, and said, "I thought I heard I am Prince." So
right, okay. So when you start getting 2, 3, 4 different people coming out with the same thing, it's something to pay attention to, whether you're doing this or whether you're actually on a location as well. It could be something really, really interesting. A lot of people are saying children and that. There might be some sort of child connection. Yeah, it's something that we could look into when we do more of the tests here. Greg, what do you want to do next? Do you want to do
I think
do you want to do a yes no box? You want to
before we move on, maybe is there anybody in the chat that wants to come on to ask a question?
Dun, 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 dun.
So, quick look. There is about a minute delay, so we just need to
Yeah, there is a little bit of
get
delay.
a minute to see if anyone's jumping in. If you're not jumping in, we'll just move on to move another piece of equipment with her.
Somebody's saying that a lot of our cameras are out of focus on there as well. Clicked the wrong one there. It could happen, I suppose, but that could just simply be down to the software pushing it onto Facebook.
Yeah.
We'll certainly look back on that.
Vicky, you're asking, does she need help? I don't know if you want to come on to ask it or. We've got a few questions. Denise, we're not sure how old the box is. We don't know an awful lot of information about her. Putting a guesstimate, I would say she's probably about at least 100 years old, but I don't know. It's a simple answer. It's just, that feeling you get when you see her. I think the head is older than the body, so we're not really sure. Okay, I don't see anybody offering to come on.
They're all scared.
So, yeah, we will move on, but please don't leave it all down to us. You can come on. This is an interactive live for you guys as well. So, at some point, you can be brave and you can come on and join us. But yeah, what do you want to move on to? Oh, Jasmine.
Anything there? We've got a DR60 we could use. We have the app that we could use as well, and I think you've got the yes/no box there.
Yes, I do. Jasmine, my missus is in the house as well, so she may be moving about in the background in a different room.
I think that's something that we've all got to bear in mind, guys. We are in our own homes. We've got our families here as well, so we can't guarantee every noise you hear is coming from the box or the speaker. We have got people in the background. We're trying to keep them all quiet, but I'm thinking we should maybe do a yes/no box, because I think there's a few questions. What country is she from? And let's see if we could maybe go down that route.
Right.
Can I just add in as well, just from a mediumistic point of view, for anybody who's watching, if you're trying to feel something, it's easy to start jumping to conclusions and start thinking about like names and all that kind of stuff, and that's fine, do that, but try and look beyond that as well. Also think about how you feel. So when we're asking questions, do you feel happy? Do you feel sad? Do you feel indifferent? Do you feel hot? Do you feel cold? It's like, think about all of your senses. Do you taste anything? Do you smell anything? It's like, think of all of those senses and then try and package all of that together. So just to think about that when we're doing the experiments as well.
Yeah. I did see a question coming up that was pinned, but it's gone now, about whether she was a protector. Is she a protector or animal or human? We don't know. It's a simple answer. We are working through to try to get the answers to who it is that's connected to the item. We have theories, but we don't know for sure. So hopefully we'll get an answer and be able to answer that. I do have the yes/no box on. We're just waiting for it to connect. Anyone that's not seen the yes/no box before, you'll hear that it's scanning at the moment. We need to wait till it falls silent. When it falls silent and there's a disturbance in electromagnetic field around about it, we can then ask questions, yes or no. Once for yes, twice for no, we normally go with, and we're watching for the needle movement, not for the flashes at the top. If it's flashing at the top, it's just a very, very strong response. So we will just hopefully get a connection soon. So we will invite any spirit in the area connected to this item to please come forward and connect to this device in my hand. We're here with full respect to you. We simply want to ask you some questions to try to verify your story.
It's funny. I'm seeing that people are having headaches.
Oh, sorry, Kyle, we have a connection. Do we have a female spirit with us? Once for yes, twice for no. Very strong response. Are you connected to the item? Once for yes, twice for no. Again, another very, very strong
That's
response. Are you able to tell us what country you came from? Yes. Are you from Europe? Once for yes, twice for no. No. Are you from North America? Once for yes, twice for no. Strong yes. Are you from Alaska? Once for yes, twice for no. Very, very, very strong yes. Are you a protective spirit? No. Do you mean harm? It's just gone.
She gone.
It's gone. Yep.
I don't know what everybody else is picking up, but and I'm reading into the comments and things and the questions being asked, but could it be, that I think people are either it's a protective item or is it an item that's been used to protect something? Something is it being used as a protection item? I don't know if that's what you're all feeling, but I'm certainly getting the feeling of a protection. It's either a protector or it's being used for protecting something either valuable or I don't know. What do you think?
No, sounds good.
Yeah, I think it was potentially something to protect something that was valuable.
Getting things like the Eskimo Indians. This is sort of going back towards what Lee said to us at the beginning. I'm feeling it drawing over that way, and I've already seen people talking about an area that Lee mentioned as well. This is getting quite interesting because obviously I know nothing at all about this item. Greg has told you everything he knows. We only know portions of it, but Lee's come in tonight and blew our minds and come out with something that we didn't even think of, and then people are saying something similar in the chat, and I'm finding it quite crazy, So
yeah,
it's very interesting, very, very interesting, and guys are really tuned in here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're getting really, really good results through the comments. Jean Lilly saying you think that's just guarding something. Again, that could possibly tie in with what Lee was feeling earlier on. Picking up trees and water, landscape. Again, potentially from the area that we're now thinking she may be from. That could tie in the summer months anyway.
Just to say as well, before I went on this live, I had quite a sore head, so I had to take some paracetamols. So it's quite interesting that people are already picking up on having sore heads because I know before I went on this live, I had sore head, so it's interesting.
Yeah, that seems to be a theme. There's been a lot of people that have been saying that it's been the front of their heads that's been sore, their foreheads that have been sore.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm potentially going to throw a spanner in the works here for some of the comments coming in. So if you just give me 1 minute, Kyle, it's got a connection. Could you ask questions, please?
Now, are you called Rose? Once for yes, twice for no. Thank you. Rose, do you date back to the 1800s? Once for yes, twice for no. Yes. Were you used to protect something, Rose? Once for yes, twice for no. No. Were you used to hold? Thank you. I was just about to say hold an item, but well, thank you. Are you related to witchcraft, Rose? Yes, thank you.
Oh, lost it.
Well,
just go
I don't know if just when that I don't know it just is when Ryan switched the screen over to the big screen. Did anybody hear giggling? Now I don't know if that was when I used giggle, but I heard somebody giggling. 100% there was somebody giggling.
Yeah.
I heard giggling coming through
Do
the
you think a
headphones.
child giggle?
I don't think it is.
I don't know, but I definitely heard a giggle, and I thought it was maybe one of yous. But
Yeah.
there
Oh, that's
was
interesting.
there was definitely a giggle.
Because it just seems to be fitting into the narrative a little bit, you know?
Yeah, there was a lot of comments that I saw about fertility and witchcraft and things like that. This is an item that I have in the same room. It is a fertility idol. They have a compartment in here that you're meant to leave the note or an offering to the gods, and it's meant to aid fertility. This isn't an item we're working with, but it's sitting on the shelf beside me. So I don't know, is it possible people are picking up on this item? We don't know, because we don't know what that one's used for, the weary lady's used for. But we do have more information about this one. And certainly, you know, as I say, the names of the offerings would be going in the compartment here. And she is believed to be a fertility idol. So I don't know. I'm just putting that out there, just to see.
Valid. Very valid.
Also, just to say as well, if you want us to do a live with this item in the future, can you put up love hearts at the moment, and then we'll go back and see who have put up love hearts as well.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking we should. Well, I'm thinking maybe DR60. I think we need to try and refocus our projection into this item. I think we're getting a little bit sidetracked. Yeah. I think we should try a DR60, because I definitely heard a background noise, and now I put myself onto mute as that went over there, and it still came through. So and there was nobody around me at that time, so people are saying that they heard it as well. So it might be worth looking back in the video later on as well.
Yeah,
it could.
When we do, I was going to say, when we do a sound thing again, I'll put my camera on mute as well, just in case there's any background noise that is being picked up.
Okay. Who wants to ask the first question?
Is there anybody in chat that wants to ask a question on the DR60? No, who's dropped out, Lee?
Lee's dropped out accidentally, I think.
There's a lot of love hearts coming up. Thank you, guys. We'll do.
Whilst we're waiting on, I'll ask a question.
Okay.
And then we'll go back to a question from the watchers.
Give me 1 sec. There we go.
He's back.
Right.
I'm blaming the weary lady.
So 3, 2, 1, go.
Was this item used for spells?
And 10 seconds. Okay. Let's see if anything comes through. So here's my microphone. There we go.
Was this item used for spells?
I hear something at the beginning. Did you
say something at the beginning? Yeah.
I'll play it again, okay?
Was this item used for spells?
There's something midway through it as well.
So it might have said or something like that at the beginning, yeah?
Could we play that again?
One more time.
Was this item used for spells?
Ooh.
I think there's a couple of yeses in there, but I think it's from separate things. I don't think it was the same voice. The first voice I think was maybe more of a sort of different. I think and maybe more male, the first one, and I think the second one, should have heard the second one, I think it was maybe more female.
We'll analyse that probably tomorrow or something and put that out there. Can you think of any questions you want to ask Lee?
I can always think of questions, Ryan.
Right, I'll give you a countdown. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Do you feel happy? And would you like to give us a message here tonight?
And stop there. You notice how it was counting up and then it stopped and then it went again. This is it recording, voice activation. Let's see what we've got.
Do you feel happy? And would you like to give us a message here tonight?
Ooh, well, that's. We'll have to probably play that another time or two to try and get with this one.
Do you feel happy? And would you like to give us a message here tonight?
I'll do it another once, okay? And then tell me what you think.
Do you feel happy? And would you like to give us a message here tonight?
I'm a bit worried because I thought I said get out to start with, and I don't want to get out of my house. So I'm a bit concerned with the first one.
I mean, there's a few people I've noticed in the comments have said that they thought they heard stuck or I'm stuck. I think I possibly heard that too. I think it. I don't know what general feelings are being picked up here, but I'm thinking that it's. I think it's annoyed. I don't think it's aggressive or nasty or anything like that. But I think it's annoyed and frustrated and a little bit angry, not at us, but I think whatever's been done here or whatever's happened here. That's what I'm feeling on it. I don't know. What do you think, Lee? What are you kind of feeling from this?
Well, I certainly thought that it picked something up there. There was fluctuations in the sound, so I think it's picked something up. I'm not sure that I heard, am I stuck? I didn't hear that. I kind of got the impression it's like I thought it said, I want you to stop. That was what I thought I'd heard.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Incidentally, I didn't feel angry or sad or anything like that, but my eyes have started watering for some reason, but not like in an upset way. I just don't know why my eyes are watery for some reason, and they weren't a few minutes ago.
How interesting.
Shame.
What's your thoughts, Greg? Any thoughts to add in?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know, to be honest. I think there's definitely something attached to her, but I'm starting to get more curious about what she was for. There's a couple of folk now picked up on a similar theme that Lee thought. So it'll be interesting to see. I think that it would be good to ask the question about whether she's connected to fertility.
Okay, you ready then? We can do
see
that with
whether
you.
that one or not.
Okay, so
that could explain quite a lot. Again, I'm scrolling through the comments here again. I think frustration's maybe the word I was trying to look for. I think frustration's a good word now. Frustration could mean 101 things, couldn't it? I mean, it could, if we're going down the route of fertility or whatever. Yeah, I think it's really interesting, and it's not just one or two people. A vast majority of people are getting the same thing here. So, yeah. I think we're definitely getting something here.
Excellent. Okay, I'll give you a countdown, Greg, and then you can ask your question and what we can get. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, go.
Are you connected to fertility?
and stopped there. Now, the reason we stopped, Greg noticed it, it stopped at 4 seconds. It was picking up no more voice activation sounds. Okay? No sounds have changed in here or anything. I could play it.
I heard something right at the start of that again. I heard something. I don't know if I'm just going crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm just going deluded, but I heard another voice there, and it came through my headphones.
Right, let's see if anything's on here after Greg speaks, because I think it maybe have jumped up once or twice, a second or two, but it certainly was not, going up like the last ones. Let's have a listen. That's it. There is a little something there.
Yeah, there's something there at the very start.
Does that say people or something?
Possibly. Yeah, I think it is people.
I heard something too.
I'll try it one more. There's something there. Maybe people can put stuff in the comments if you're hearing something, you're maybe missing it, you're maybe getting a better listening point than what we are here, because obviously we're open, we're in the studio environment here. But how crazy is that it didn't pick anything up long up to the 10 seconds or the 15 seconds like we got in the last few? We got 4 seconds, and I think 2 to 3 seconds of that was Greg's question.
Yeah, the thing is, that's what we love, because I mean, as we've explained to people that watch us before, because this is voice activated, when we get nothing coming through, we don't see that as a negative. We see that as a positive, because it just confirms that it's not us moving, it's not any of our microphones picking up anything that's putting it through. The rest nothing. So
Exactly.
all the times we do get something coming through, it's not just clothes making a noise or something like that. Yes, there is something else. Yeah.
I do have a quick question for it.
Okay. Right, I'll give you a countdown, okay?
Cool.
So 3, 2, 1, go.
When did you move over from Alaska to the UK?
I'm going to stop it there. The only reason that jumped from 4 seconds to 6 seconds is I heard a notification coming in.
Yeah, my phone beat, so I think
that's good, and I'll tell you why. I was getting panicky a little bit that it was going to keep sticking at 4 seconds. We'll play back what we had to that point and listen, but I find this weird. It keeps stopping on 4.
When did you move over from Alaska to the UK?
Nothing.
Right.
Just got the notification.
For the interest of science, we've had Greg and Kyle, and it's both stopped on 4. I would like to ask another question.
Okay.
And see if we can make it do anything else. I don't know what I'm going to ask now, because I've not thought about a question. I'm going to ask the question that I've seen. It was actually Kat put it up. She's put it up a couple of times. So you can give me a countdown and I'll go.
Okay. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Can you tell us who made you, please?
No, going to stop it there.
That's
and
weird.
Just for that science.
Can I just make a point? A point
that's counting up.
Yeah.
So it's not stuck. It's not broken or anything.
No. And it was it was 3 before the 4.
Yeah.
A couple of folk thought they heard through the audio session something along the lines of "make it stop" or "I'm going to stop."
Yeah.
And then we've picked up nothing.
Nothing.
So has she stepped back and she's refusing to communicate now.
It doesn't feel as intense as it did. I mean, I felt a bit of a connection sort of going around there, and it felt quite strong. But it's it seems to have. I just feel that I do feel that she's gone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How do you feel, Lee?
What's your thoughts, Lee? Do you think the energy's gone?
I feel okay, actually. My watery eyes have gone.
Yeah. So
I'm not quite so sure. I'm actually. I don't want to make this. I don't want to make this a big spiritual session rather than a paranormal session, but I'm tempted to ask my spirit guide just to go over there and see if he can get something out of it, and to ask a question of him to see if it actually does anything. So if you want, I'll ask another question and we'll just see if that works. And what we can do, if it seems to be stuck or it isn't going anywhere, you could maybe make a noise or do something yourself, Ryan, just to show that the device is still actually working.
Okay. So 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm just asking my spirit guide, Harold, just to go and speak to the weary lady, just to see if there's anything there. And I'm just going to ask a question. Are you still with us?
And stop there, because I don't think it was going to move. We have got something this time. So we'll play it back. We'll see what happens.
Just asking my spirit guide, Harold, just to go and speak to the weary lady, just to see if there's anything there. And I'm just going to ask a question. Are you still with us? And stop there.
Yeah, we'll play that again, I think.
Just asking my spirit guide, Harold, just to go and speak to the weary lady, just to see if there's anything there. And I'm just going to ask a question. Are you still with us? And stop there.
I think that's it. I think it says Harold, but I don't know.
You think it says
Yeah,
Harold?
I think it said I'm here and then something else.
So another one.
I thought I heard I am, and then I heard like something else, and then something else. It was like in 3 parts, but there was definitely a capture there.
I'm not going to lie, I got a shiver up my back when you were asking that. So that was quite weird.
Play it again.
But, yeah.
That was cool.
Want to play it again?
Yeah, I want to hear it again.
Just asking my spirit guide, Harold, just to go and speak to the weary lady, just to see if there's anything there. And I'm just going to ask a question. Are you still with us? And stop there.
Quite like that.
That needs to analyse. I don't actually link that. I think that's quite a. Even though I can't make out the words, I think it's an angry response.
There's a lot of people saying I am, and there's a lot of people saying Harold as well.
When I listen to it, I can hear both those.
Yeah.
What way I listen to it, I can hear I am, and I can hear Harold as well.
Robbie suggesting it's not the same spirit that's coming through now.
You think it's a different spirit?
It's Robbie in the comments that said
he
doesn't think it's the same
I did
spirit.
have this thought as well, though.
Well, there's a second
I
spirit.
I didn't get a feeling of anything bad. I quite liked it. I thought it was quite cool.
We'll
I'm just
analyse, won't we, guys? We'll analyse each one of those,
yeah,
and we'll share them out. So it doesn't end tonight on this live. We will do a little bit of background work on some of this audio and put it out, so people can see what the conclusion, or I don't like using the word conclusion, but you know what I mean. What we can sort of conclude.
Yeah,
because there's always probably further we can go into things, but I think we're going to have to get ready to wrap up now. I think we're in our last 4 minutes. I know some of you might want to just throw some more information in before we go. If anybody wants to say anything, if anybody's got anything to add about tonight or the future.
I think obviously this was the first time I've ever tried to do an experiment like this. I think we should ask if they would like us to do another one. similar. We've got a lot of other alleged items. It's just to see what the general thoughts are on it. I thought it worked really, really well. Obviously, it's getting to know, and it's harder in this environment too, because there are sounds in the house and things that you can't 100% rule out. But there was two things that there was two things that really stood out for me. I'm convinced that I heard a couple of voices coming through, and it was when nothing else was happening. So I'm going to go back at the end of this. I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch back in the video, and I'm going to see if I can hear it again, to see if it came through the live as well, or if it was maybe just coming through me, or I was just imagining it. I'm going crazy, but I think overall, I think it was a good night. I think towards the end of it, the energy drained a little bit, or it stepped back. But I think there was strong energy at the start of that investigation, and I do think it was connected to the doll. So that's all I've really got to add to it. And thank you to everybody who's joined in and been a part of it as well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I've seen there's been a lot of people saying that they'll love to have another investigation similar to this. So I think we should try to do this more regularly, since we can't really get out anyway.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be quite good. It's been a good investigation. First start was a little bit quiet, and then end was a bit quiet, but then the middle got stuff.
Just the usual way.
Wasn't too bad. We ended on a good one, because we did get something at the end, so that wasn't too bad. But yeah, I thought it was quite good tonight. I enjoyed it. So thank you all for joining, and thank you all for being on the podcast as well.
I'll tell you what I enjoyed as well was the interactive audience.
Yes.
Taking part and being an investigator and helping us, whether that was through senses, feelings, whatever, or even just through thoughts that they've got about listening in. So you got some people who probably just like to listen to the audio, some people who went into their intuition and told us what they were getting. I've seen people right off the bat, and we'll go to Lee in a second, I've seen people right off the bat mention something that Lee told us just 5 minutes before we went live. And I just find that astonishing when you get people coming in with the same type of information. And I'm actually going to go to Lee right now before we finish. Lee, where did you think this came from? What impression were you getting where this came from?
So the impression, so I didn't know anything about this object. Last night I had a look at the picture before I went to bed and did a bit of a meditation on it and asked my guides just to show me something connected to this object. And I had a dream, I guess you could call it, and my impression was that I was in an extremely cold place, and I felt as if I was in North America or possibly Alaska. So I was connected to that area of the world, and I had the impression as well that this was perhaps intended to be used almost like an urn for human remains or for ashes or something of that nature. However, I don't think it was used for that. I think that was the intention. I think it was possibly used for other things. And as Greg said, I have the feeling as well that it's perhaps different things that have came together. So whether that's the head and the body are not quite the same object, but I have the feeling that when I'm looking at this, it's not one object as it would have been. It has been other objects as well, and possibly used for something else. I mean, if this is old, and we don't know the age of it exactly, but if this is old, then it's not inconceivable that lots of people have had it over the time, and there could be spirit attached to it. It could also have energy imprinted on it as well. So some of the things that we're connecting are to do with the imprint of the energy. But for me tonight, one of the things that really stood out was the seemingly intelligent reactions that we got to our questions through the equipment. So we were asking for responses, and we got those responses. So for that, for me, that was a real standout.
Excellent. And then, like when we started, I seen people like Willow saying Alaska. I did see a couple of people saying they got the feeling like it was an urn of some type. And we've had basically a lot of people have backed up what people have been thinking on this online investigation that we're having here with this item. People backed up. They heard the same thing as Ali at the children, and that was all heard. I've seen many people saying that. It's fantastic, and it's fantastic to have a group of people to come together and do that, isn't it? And get that information at the same time. Okay, guys, have we finished at that for tonight? And we're going to do it again for them?
I've got one more point.
Okay.
One more thing. Now that you guys have all seen this and you know the format, next time make sure you've got your party clothes on and you've done your hair like me, so you can come on and join in and come on to the live.
No COVID hairstyles. I put up a comment earlier. I've got my COVID hairstyle. So have I. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks everyone in here for taking part, and thanks everyone on the chat across the social media who've taken part, whether that be YouTube or whether that be Facebook tonight. We will get that done for you, those analysis files put out. And until then, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you later on in the week. Okay?
Yep.
Bye for now.
Thank you very much,
Cheers,
guys.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
one.
Bye.